now from a member of the British Parliament, but not just any member, actually. David Lammy represents the Tottenham district, where a young father of 4 was shot and killed by police last Thursday under some pretty murky circumstances. He joins me now by phone from London. Mr. Lammy, the government says this explosion of rioting has nothing to do with the death of Mark Duggan. Do you agree?
I do agree. What happened on Thursday for us here in Tottenham was serious. There are some serious answers and questions that people need in the coming days. And the initial stages of how the family of Mark Duggan were treated, I'm afraid, was not good by the police. They were not told, for example, that he had died. They found out about it by watching television. Nevertheless, the looting, the criminality, the homelessness has been caused by burning people's homes down, by burning stores down. And this is not just retail chains. This is independent stores. People's livelihoods is totally unacceptable. And I think the vast majority of people, certainly in the community I represent in Tottenham and in Britain as a large, say, not in my name is this happening. It must stop. We must get order back to our streets. This is not the way to conduct yourself. This is just, I'm afraid, criminality.
Where is this frustration coming from? It certainly seems to have been building. Tell me a little bit about that and a little bit about Tottenham so we can have some context here.
I represent here in Tottenham a community with the highest unemployment in London. It's the most diverse community in Europe with over 300 languages spoken. There are challenges here. There is poverty here. This is, a bit like the south side of Chicago or, parts of Queens or the Bronx in New York. Nevertheless, there was, prior to this, much hope, big community spirit, lots of effort to rebuild and turn our community around following the riots that we experienced in 1985. Yes, it was always going to be the case that the death of a young man involving the police was going to be a very, very sensitive issue. The original protest was a peaceful protest. What then happened on Saturday night and is happening across England is totally unaccepted and unacceptable. Of course, it had its origins in a dispossessed youth, a minority of youth who feel totally excluded from the mainstream and seem not to have the set of values and morals that the rest of society has. And there are big questions that we must ask ourselves. And we as members of Parliament, we can't be partisan about this. This is, whether it's Labour in power or indeed the Conservatives in power, there are big questions for all politicians.
Well, Mr. Lammy, let me ask you about a solution here. I understand that there is an emergency session of Parliament taking place tomorrow. What will you tell the other members? How will you find a solution to put this to rest?
Well, we need to restore order. The young people are outfoxing the police because they are using technology, Twitter, Blackberries, and others to communicate amongst themselves. And there are questions about the technology that the police have that I think we need to get on top of. Cameron has increased the police numbers, and that will help substantially to bring order back to our streets. I think we may need some kind of voluntary curfew so that people aren't on the streets in the evening and the police can deal with those that are intent on causing harm. Those are the things that we need to get order back. And once we've got order back, then I think we will have to ask some searching questions about how this happened, i.e. the nature of the policing. It's clear to me that the lack of policing has led to more criminal damage than was necessary. And this could have been nipped in the bud earlier in Tottenham. It was not dealt with early enough, and we are now dealing with the consequences of that.
David Lammy, Member of Parliament there in London, certainly you have a lot on your hands to deal with. Best of luck, and we will continue to watch that situation. Thank you.